Okay, this is Mike Soares'y of Soares'y Guitars in New York. We're a small shop. I've been repairing and building guitars for over 50 years now, and we've been specializing in tenor guitars for the past 30 years. If you like to look us up, we've been around for a long time. We've made guitars range from under $100 to over $1,000, depending upon the build and what we were looking to do at the time. So you'll see a wide range of different quality guitars by our shop. This is one of our higher grade guitars. This is a first time for us. We're not offering this guitar for sale at this time. What we're looking for right now is some feedback, good or bad, hints, suggestions, stories, anything you would like to add to this post on this guitar. Again, we've been making tenor guitars for 30 years now, since 1992, and over the years we've had a couple of people ask for a 5-string tenor guitar, and not enough to add. Maybe 5 people in the past 30 years. And the last time we started making our batch for 2023, I had a regular customer ask about a 5-string, so we decided to go ahead and build 3 of them. The other 2 have not been built yet. This is the first one. We just finished it, but we didn't build it as a 5-string tenor. What we did was we built this as a open G blues guitar, we're going to call it, inspired by Keith Richards and his tuning, which I believe is G, D, G, B, D on the guitar. And so we went ahead, and this is our first 5-string that we're going to market as a blues guitar eventually. We're not ready yet. Like I said, we just finished it. We're going to do a little more adjusting and testing on it. But basically this is an ES140 Gibson style body, the 3/4 size body, and we tried to make this a little better than a Gibson. The Gibson was all plywood with a maple top. This is a mahogany back and sides. This has the plywood back and sides on here, but we went with a solid top. This is a line top, but it is solid spruce top on this here with a lining to prevent checking and crackering of the spruce top. But there's a very nice spruce top on this. We did this in a what we call a vintage violin finish, where we stain the spruce, take the stain off of the spruce, and then we do it in an amber. This was done to an amber to a reddish brown on this particular one. And so same thing on the back here, a tinted mahogany on the back, and the red tones to go with the tortoise shell. We didn't go with the tobacco brown. We usually do a tobacco brown, but we went with the reddish brown on this particular one. Okay, so this is our first 5-string G, D, G, B, D guitar, and just want to tell you what we're doing now. This is fully bound on the top and the back, and this is celluloid tortoise shell. A lot of makers don't use the celluloid tortoise shell anymore because of the price on it, but we feel that the guitar deserves it. We make our own escutcheons for your input, standard 1/4-inch jack input, and this has a large strap holder. We didn't put the strap holder up here yet, but we like to use a larger size base strap holders for these guitars, so less chance of your strap coming off. Now this one here has a Les Paul style stop bar on it. And what we did here was we take a 7-string stop bar, we cut the ears off of it, polish the ends, and we make it into a 5-string stop bar with your standard casino hanger and tailpiece on there. We did the same thing now on your bridge. We converted a standard bridge that would normally go into the top of the guitar, and we converted that to a floating bridge with a rosewood base. And again, we took a 7-string tunematic, and we took off the number 1 and 7 and made it into a 5-string. So you got a floating 5-string tunematic, 5 saddles, fully adjustable. Your saddles are adjustable in and out, and your bridge is adjustable up and down. So you got a fully adjustable floating bridge, and these are custom made knobs. We make our own knobs in-house. We did them in a tortoise shell, an amber to brown on here. These are molded from a 1930s radio knob. We like to use this on most of our guitars. One thing that we did, again, our goal today is to not make custom guitars where we start from scratch and make up something and something different. Our thing is we're old school. We take stock guitars like the ES140, and we try to make them better. Okay, biggest problem on archtop guitars is if you have either your pot slip where the knob keeps turning, or you get a lot of static and noise, or you need to get in to replace. So what we did here was we made a plate. This is your volume and your tone. If you ever need to service this, you take out your 2 screws, this plate comes right off, and you can service it. You don't have to go and fish into your guitar. So we feel this is one of our biggest improvements. We just started doing this 2 years ago, but this is a removable for your tone and your volume on here. And again, same thing with your jack here. Is a 3/4 inch hole under here. If for any reason your jack loosens up or you need to replace your jack plug, take out these 2 screws, whole thing pulls out where you can resolder it, repair it, adjust it, whatever you need to do, and put it back. Again, with tortoiseshell, everything is highlighted in tortoiseshell. Your F-holes are bound in a tortoiseshell, a black tortoiseshell. And same thing on you. We have a custom humbucker pickup on this here that we have made for us, and we make our own escutcheon on this, again in the tortoiseshell. And we make our own pick guards, and a pick guard hanger we make. And yeah, this is a 3-inch deep body, I believe, if I remember right, as opposed to the thin line one. This is 3-inch deep on this here. This is a little shy of a 13-inch lower bout. Actually, it's 13 inches. And 22 3/4 inch scale, the same as the Gibson 140. And we have your fret markers. We did this as a tenor guitar would have, which would be your 10th fret marker instead of your 9th on this here. And we had them done in the off-white. Your neck is fully bound, again in the tortoise. This is not the thin tortoise. This is a nice heavy thick tortoise. On this here, this is not the like the contact paper. And we make our own decal. Again, we gave this more of like an antique faded look, like it's been bleeding out. And you got your 5 Gibson style tuners. These are your Wilkinson tuners. They're like a middle grade on this here. And again, fully bound head, 2-way truss rod on this here. We make our own truss rod covers. This has a bone nut. What we did on this here, when we're trying to think of what size, we were thinking about taking a 6-string nut and cutting it down to a 5. And as we were looking at nuts, we found a 5-string bass guitar nut that we've never worked with. but this is about a little over 1 3/4 inch wide on this here, and it's a 5mm Les Paul style nut. So we decided to go with a stock nut on this here, and again 22 3/4 inch scale. Now this is a V-back neck or volute neck on here. Again, you have a nice V-back with your volute, gives you a stronger neck at your cutout for your truss rod. Gibson is known for the necks to be breaking off at this point. We have a nice thick, again this is a nice hardy neck on here, and again your two-way truss rod and bound on this here, and that's about it. Again, it's a copy of the Gibson 140. I'm looking for my jack. We have a 10-watt SX amp here in the shop that we've been using for over 20 years now. It's not a great amp, but give you an idea of the sound. Again, here quiet. There's a little ground loop on the amp itself, but once you plug it in, has great bottom end. Between the custom made pickup and we custom our tone control on this here for a deeper bottom end, because when we do our tenors we're looking for a deeper bottom end. We use the same as we use on our tenor for that deeper tone on here. Again, I'm left-handed, I don't play this tuning, but nice action up and down the neck, nice clean tone. Great sound. Okay, so again, this is Mike Soares'y. I'm looking for any comments on this. Again, we're not offering this for sale at this point, but if you are interested in something like this, we're looking for right now our final price when we'll finally go into production with this, if we do, if there's enough interest, will be about $1,300. We have 3 prototypes. This one. We're going to build another 2 after we get some feedback, and we're going to pop those out for $1,000 each. Again, this is a solid spruce top, where the original 140 was a plywood and had a P90. This has your humbucker. Okay, and I'd appreciate any information anybody has, any experiences, any stories. Again, this was inspired by Keith Richards. I believe this is his tuning from what I could find online, and if anybody has any comments, good comments, bad comments, you like this, you don't like this, you think this is great, you think this is stupid, we're open. That's how we learn. Again, this is our first time building this guitar. We've built a lot of guitars, and this is a very nice, good quality guitar, but we're open to improve, is what we want to do. We don't want to just shove something out there that we don't know anything. We don't know about 5-string guitars, and maybe we left something out. Maybe there's something we should know. So again, we're going to post this to the blues community and see what kind of feedback we get. Again, this is Mike Soares'y, Soares'y Guitars. Please leave your comments. Thank you.